Alright, so the trade report is back now. Yeah, the reason I'm wearing red, I'll tell you later, but let's look at the trade report. It's personal record. Not a personal record like amount wise, but it's just for my personal record, not to surprise anyone. Yeah, so I made one trade. I made 100 on that today. Be patient, let this focus. This is actually a 244 hertz monitor, so you can see this weird Gaussian whiz or whatever. I only stayed in the market for about 15 minutes. I was sort of trying to pick a window after the crude report and before the Fed report where I could trade. And you know what? The Fed report, it was actually something harmless for crude at least. So crude tends to, I guess, plan itself according to its own schedule, I guess. So I'll keep that in mind with the news. However, there is some other news in the market later on tonight. Let's look at that. It's pretty much up to China. It's also like Asian New Year. Let's see. Yeah, Japan's also reporting something, but I'm gonna keep my window open just for that data. Yeah, the reason why I'm wearing red is because of that. Actually, let me put on this yellow. Yeah, there we go. Now we're all set for China data. My dad actually hates China a lot. I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyways, this is the next part of crude movement. It's the next wave. Here's basically the movement up. You know, like I was saying before. Let's look at it on a longer term chart. So this is the cutoff. This is Asia market right here. Okay, you see that line right here? Okay, I'm gonna move to a longer time frame. Okay, same thing. Asia market right here. There's that bar I just showed you. Okay, so what happened overnight is there was a breakout out of the channel, and that's when, boom, breakout. Just keeps going up after the crude report keeps going up. Just keeps going up, and there's fade, all the way past the Fed report into the close. After the close, this is actually the close, crude pit close, and it actually fades even further. So what is this telling me? When, you know, other like currencies were going up after the announcement where the Fed said, hey, we're gonna slow down our tightening rate or whatever happened. I just look at price action, and though it just kept going up. Let's see, what time is that? That is at 2:30. Okay, fine, it went down a little, but you know what I mean. After the Fed report, it went up. See, 2 p.m. Fed report. This is 2:30, so at 2, yeah, at 2, it went up. So net after 2 is still up. Not crazy, at least for that part. Even for Canadian dollar, you know, the loonie, it's at 2. You see, it's better if you look here. At 2, there's that huge spike. So what's going on, crude? Huh? This is what's going. This is what I think is going on. Crude likes to set up. It likes to prepare in advance. I think it's actually responsible, unlike me, who likes not to plan and does things last minute. But this is what we're looking at. We're actually looking at on a larger time frame. This is actually pretty cool. I'm doing a measured move again. So I take the low and the high. I estimate that, and then I take an extension of that, and I predict the next movement. So I'm actually using this portion right here. Maybe it's easier to see here. Sorry, I keep switching views, but I'll just shrink this a little, crunch it in. So measure move here. I took what did I take? Oh yeah, so this one, this is the measure move, low to high, from overnight to pre-Fed report, okay? Then I'm taking basically that measured move and I'm extending it here. Okay. Now the reason I'm doing this is not just because of the crude, but I also noticed that the Canadian dollar. Wow, my voice is cracking. Yeah, Canada, eh? That is also doing something. It's actually kind of weird. Let me go in a higher time frame so I can actually see. Yeah. See that? See that? Look at that. There's that measured move up. Huge measured move. This is development starting from the beginning of the year. So this, wait, is it beginning of the year? Yeah, beginning of the year. And then there's this bear bull flag that's been forming for like at least a month or so, right? And now we're waiting for that next step up. The only thing that kind of bothers me is that the relative strength is already at the highest, so this portion might not be so quick. But anyways, that's one hypothesis that I kind of looked at. Let's look at crude on a time frame, similar time frame. I mean, it would make sense. The section of time. Let's see, what date is that? That is what's the date? Okay, end of Thanksgiving. All the way to, what is that? To Christmas, let's say, right? And then here it's beginning of the year to now, which is a month. So a month in between both. So if this is a true like inverse head and shoulders, then it is about time for this to go up anyways, right? So there's a lot of things at play that might actually make sense for this, but I'll keep watching. You know, it could go either way. I don't play the night market, but I mean, if you were to trade it, it might be a possibility. It's too hard to tell. I'd rather wait for developments later on. The thing that bothers me about this hypothesis, though, is that there's a gap down here that didn't get filled. Some people, their stops definitely broke if they were playing that channel, or they put stops there so that they could buy into that channel, and now they're set for their swing trade. But who knows? Yeah, I think that's what I got. VIX, I'm happy about, actually. VIX is showing that nice drop. So that rounded bottom that thought was developing actually disappeared. As much as I like rounded bottoms, it still appears here in this view. You can still imagine that bottom. So who knows, we might actually, see what I'm saying? Like it's round like that. I don't know, actually. If you look at NASDAQ, I'm going to end this video soon because it's just getting too long, but NASDAQ, yeah, I can see some downtrend here, so yeah, it's going to be hard for crude to actually make that push, especially with Canadian dollar already at the highs. So we'll see. I mean, it is one hypothesis. I don't know. The probability is not like too high though. Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this fat. Yeah. 2 more days. I'm at about the 3,500 mark, a little below that, a little shy of that. My target is 6,000. I gotta make about 2,600, 2,700, let's say, to pass the first goal. And then I get to the second goal, which is pretty much similar, except in this case, I have to follow the scaling plan, which is like up to a certain amount, I can only trade a certain amount of lots. Up to. I don't have to trade those lots. And then, I think the trailing stop actually comes to play a little more. Like every day, my max loss is going to be 2,000. That's been the case. But it's very similar to what I've been doing, so as long as I keep up, it's basically just another round of this test to make sure, you know, this isn't a fluke. And then, you apply for the funded account. It's that easy, but it's all about risk management. I think that's a big thing I've learned. Today, I tried to make my entry a little later, but I still came up, you know, bleeding to the upside. I was doing a short, by the way, in this crazy market where it broke the channel and was bullish. Yeah, I know it's kind of a stupid way to not follow the trend, but that's what I got. I was too afraid to follow the uptrend because it had been exhausted. Crude was already up like 2 or 3%. So I thought, you know, play the range, shoot for a slowdown on the upside, and you know what? That play would have actually worked if I had been oblivious to the Fed report. But I think what crude was doing is actually playing forward past the Fed report into China data. So I think with the indexes kind of focusing on their tops and bleeding lower, possibly crude might follow with that. So we'll see. All right, that's it for today. See you trading tomorrow.